Eli Roth, a hack and his fluff. I can't even, I don't know if I can get through this video without laughing at that picture. Look at that face. A face not even a mother, the most loving mother in the world, could love. He looks like a monkey. It's difficult. It's just very difficult. Now, my ethics about insulting someone's looks are as follows. If you're putting yourself, your face, in front of the whole world like this, like as an actor or a model or whatever, or a rock star, and you did it of your own, you're of responsible age, your parents didn't force you into this career, then all's fair, right? I didn't put my face all over the planet for everyone to have to look at. So it's okay for me to be ugly. And it's actually mean of somebody to call me ugly. But I'm not sticking my ugly face out there. I mean, I would hope to God I'm not as ugly as this guy, but maybe I am, right? I don't know. One last thing about this guy's looks. And he really does plaster himself all over the world. Like, he does all these, like, TMZ shows. Like, he just loves being in the public eye. Wait, I don't understand why. Where's your shame when you look like that? Or trim those eyebrows. Get those ears stapled back. And, don't smile if your smile looks disgusting. I mean, don't do it for yourself. Do it for everyone else. Now, a movie that I really did not understand, I didn't like, was Inglourious Basterds. I remember feeling sorry for Quentin Tarantino after I saw it. I remember walking home afterwards and I was like, oh, the poor guy. He'll never live this one down. But then everybody loved it, of course, which shows how out of touch I am, I suppose. Or just how stupid everybody is. But anyways, the most hilarious scene in that movie, embarrassing as hell, especially for Eli Roth, is when his character is introduced, right? And they go, okay, the bear Jew's coming, the bear Jew. Oh my God. And the Germans are like, oh no, not the bear Jew. And you're thinking, holy shit, the bear Jew. This is going to be like a 7-foot tall monster. It's going to be some like Dave Bautista looking guy or like The Rock. And you hear him and he's like, you hear him coming and he's coming through the tunnel and you see the shadow of him or something and you hear him taunting and you're thinking, oh geez, this is going to be good. There's such a build up to it. And then you just see this little guy, this little ugly guy. What? Wait, this is the bear Jew? Well, you might as well have had like, Webster or, Danny DeVito come show up. It's like in those cartoons where like, you see a big, huge shadow approaching, and then it's just a little mouse. And I actually looked up his height a minute ago, and he's actually 5'11", or so it says on IMDb, or whatever, on Google. And, I guess that's believable, right? And I'm thinking, how could he be 5'11" and look like so tiny? And I'm thinking it's probably because he has a huge head. I mean, I'm not sure he does have a huge head, but it's the only reason that I could think that I would assume that he's so tiny. And you know what? People don't think that I'm 6 feet tall, but maybe I have a huge head too. I hate to think it, but every guy and every girl, I think, goes through that period in their teens where they think that they could be a supermodel. Every guy goes through that period. I don't know about girls, where they think that they're the really hot guy, they're the hottest guy in the class. And at a certain point, hopefully in your early 20s or even in your late teens, you realize you're just average looking. You should realize that. And the way he could show his face around the planet like he does makes me think he doesn't realize that he's ugly. I mean, I've always made fun of how Nicolas Cage is the ugliest person on the planet. And me and my grandmother, we often joke about how ugly he is and how we hate him because he's so ugly. Eli Roth might be uglier. So that's enough about his ugliness, his face. Now then I'm going to talk about his relationship with Quentin Tarantino, his miraculous, how the hell he became in the position he's in when he's a hack. And then I'm going to finish with the show Hemlock Grove, which I just watched. Because he executive produced it. Okay, let's start with his first movie. Start there. Cabin Fever, his breakout film. I thought it was unbelievably boring, and nobody would ever. I can't believe anybody ever cared about it or gave it a good review. But I think it came out at the right place at the right time, and it was just a fool's luck. It was dumb luck that it got like an award, and then it got him a bit of repute. I just think he's the luckiest hack who ever lived. Hostel, I actually thought was pretty cool, like in parts. It was overly gory, of course. The guy's obviously messed in the head to make a movie that gory. And but I think the best career move of his life was sucking Quentin Tarantino's ass whole, because that's what got him future work. He would be it's exactly like how Amber Heard got Aquaman because she married married Johnny Depp. Everybody started hiring Eli Roth because they're like, well, if he sucks, Quentin Tarantino loves him, like he's like his girlfriend. It's Quentin Tarantino's girlfriend. So if we get on Eli Roth's side, then Quentin Tarantino might, he might connect us with Quentin Tarantino. And I read that Quentin Tarantino said that Eli Roth was like the best upcoming horror filmmaker, of his generation. And I'm thinking he's just saying that because Eli Roth sits there and sucks your dick like all day, every day. And then you're like, wow, this guy's a great horror film director. Surely he's blinded by all the ass licking. I mean, I don't know much about directing. Maybe he's a good, competent film director. He's a terrible writer. I watched the House with the Clocks in its walls, and I'm like, yeah, it's forgettable. There's nothing memorable about it. I don't know much about directing, but a Quentin Tarantino movie just feels like it's filmed better, like where the scenes feel more memorable because of the way it was filmed, I suppose. Like the shots he makes are just more creative. But now on to Hemlock Grove. This is also pretty much a review of Hemlock Grove. Here's how I would describe Hemlock Grove. Hemlock Grove is Twilight with gore, swearing, drugs, smoking, and nudity. It's pretty much what you would expect of an Eli Roth adapted story from a novel. In the same way, The Boys was pretty much what you would expect if Seth Rogen, if that's his name, adapted a comic book. It's just like subpar average. Oh, I'm referring to that show, The Boys with Seth Rogen, by Seth Rogen. There's maybe one or two good characters. There's the best werewolf transformation scene maybe I've ever seen. And that's about the only good of the show. The story there is non-existent. It's really, really slow. It's sappy as hell, despite all the nudity and whatnot and drugs. Pointless deaths, just for the sake of being, look how dark we are. The ending is insultingly predictable. A lot of it is insultingly predictable. A lot of the dialogue is insulting. The characters shouldn't be smarter than the viewer when the writers had a long time to figure out better plot ideas. I would say that above all, though, they picked a main character. They picked an actor to play this main character, and the main character is supposed to be this like badass, cool guy. But the problem is he looks like Harry Potter. His name's Peter. No, he looks like Potter. You can't have a badass that looks like Harry Potter. Like, there's so many scenes where he's telling other characters to F off and mouthing off to everybody. And I'm like, oh, give me a break. Just smack that little dork. And I mean, like, I'm not saying you have to be good looking or big or anything in stature to pull off being the badass, but you have to be able to, like, act it. And it doesn't help if you look like Harry Potter or Daniel Radcliffe. He's not tall. But, like, I was watching one scene and I'm like, isn't it funny how every character looks to him for his reaction all the time? And he's always just staring forward. Like, he doesn't need to verify anything he says because he's so confident. And it's just like, it's just so shallow the way they try to achieve him being the alpha male. If I was the director, I would say to the actor, stop trying to look like James Dean. Stop trying to act like Mickey Rourke, like the cool guy. It's not working. You just look like you're pretending. You know, maybe you should glance at the other actors when you're acting the scene, because, you reek of acting cool. I mean, if your character has no respect for anybody, then how am I supposed to have respect for them? And they're all kissing your ass for no reason whatsoever. And I'll give an example. Okay, so Daniel Radcliffe is he becomes friends with this other guy, this Skarsgård kid that played the It clown. So It clown and Daniel Radcliffe. So the It clown actor goes, he's like so nice to the badass Daniel Radcliffe for no reason whatsoever. Like, it doesn't make any sense. This guy's better looking than Daniel Radcliffe. He's rich. Daniel Radcliffe's broke. So there's no reason at all why this guy would be kissing the Daniel Radcliffe guy's ass. Okay, so Daniel Radcliffe is flirting with It Clown's cousin, who's a hot blonde, throughout the whole thing. And, Clown It guy is, like, noticing it. He's picking it up a little bit. And so finally one episode, Daniel Radcliffe's, like, just basically tells the It Clown guy, you know what, fuck off. I don't think we should be friends. You're a loser, whatever, get lost. And understandably, It Clown guy goes, you know what, fine, but I'll tell you what, if you fuck my cousin, I'm going to kill you. Right? Now that's reasonable. So, the next episode, It Clown actor goes into a coma. He's dying. Daniel Radcliffe then continues to hit on the cousin, and even, like, makes out with her while they're visiting dude who's in a coma. And I'm just like, you scumbag. And this is supposed to be the hero of the show? Like, this guy's a piece of shit. After all the kindness this guy gives him, he goes in a coma and you're jumping, and then he's fucking. He actually has sex with the cousin while the dude's in a coma. Dude comes out of the coma and he apologizes to Daniel Radcliffe about how he was an asshole. And Daniel Radcliffe's pretty much just like, oh man, it's all good, don't worry about it. And he's like, so, do you care about my cousin? And he's like, yeah, I really love her. He's like, oh, okay then. So, okay. But this is just an example of, like, the poor writing. Like, okay, if I said to my best friend, I'll never forgive you if you have sex with my cousin or my sister. And then I go into a coma. And then I come out of the coma and I find out that you've been having sex with her while I was in the coma. Right? I'd be pretty angry. But not only is this dude not angry, he continues to apologize even after this. And I'm like, what did you do wrong? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was a dick, I was an asshole. And when were you an asshole? Everything you've done all along was reasonable. So that's like just one of 20 things that happen, whether it's plot development or character development, that is ridiculous and really amateurish in terms of writing. But to come full circle and to conclude, this is exactly what I should have expected from anything that Eli Roth is involved in, because he's a hack and he only creates fluff. And I mean, I can't stand Quentin Tarantino, or at least what he's become post Pulp Fiction. But I mean, out of 10, I'd give a Quentin Tarantino movie maybe a 6, like Kill Bill, or well, that's more 7, but Inglourious Bastards, maybe 5.5. Eli Roth and this kind of crap, it's like 2 out of 10, just to give us a comparison, frame of reference. If you like gays, click like. If you like blacks, comment. If you like women, click notification bell. If you like gay women, subscribe. And if you like gay black women, Patreon, Human Warnings.